when the specialist of the strange meets the age of darkness. Eyes in the skies will sail upon the glitter of those skies. And ponder the insanity that comes from their adventure. Welcome to the Ball and Bonkers.
May I say that brilliant trailer? You didn't tell me you made a new trailer, Dakota. See, Dakota doesn't tell me in.
That's been the same one we've been playing for the Wednesday show this entire time.
Is it?
Yes!
Going mad. Maybe that's why we're called Ball and Bonkers, because we're just plain mad, you know? So, guys, we're joined tonight by Sherry, Paranormal World Investigators, and our lovely co-host here, Dakota. I had to put that in there. I had to put that in there. Yeah, I had to do it, guys, you know. But Dakota's going to tell you why Sherry's here tonight and what we've got planned.
Yes, it's certainly been an interesting few days. Chris and I got to talking that because the Saturday show seemed to trigger something, that we should probably get together and discuss what's been going on a little bit further. And much to our surprise, apparently Sherry here has been having her own set of experiences. So we're going to try to help sit down and actually try to figure out what the heck's going on.
There you go. Yeah. I noticed in the chat there, Drew's Paranormal Vlog says we're no in age, but I think we are in age because it's been turned into a brand account, has it not?
Yes, it has.
Let's have a look.
Wait a second.
Golden Bonkers is live. It is. We're on. We're on, Drew, on Age of Darkness. Well, it's not Age of Darkness anymore. That's what we need to explain to people now. You know, we have to explain to them. Say, right, I had Age of Darkness, guys, and I changed the name to Bald. An echo there. We had Bald and Bonkers, so I changed the name Age of Darkness to Bald and Bonkers. And then me and Dakota had the great idea of turning it into a brand account, right? So because the channel's doesn't belong to me anymore. Half of it belongs to my lovely co-host. See, you've got. It is. There's a few teething problems, and we will fix it. What's that, Drew? Nope, it's not on my TV. That's weird. It should be. It should be on.
I don't know because it's just the fact that we had to do those last minute.
No, it's
adjustments.
It's there. I'll send you the link, Drew. Okay, I'll send you the link.
Everything's working okay. It should have just transferred over, but because we did have to do some last minute adjustments, there might be some technical difficulties on everybody's end.
I've sent her a link to her thing. She had messaged me to this one.
Yeah.
Because I know you've got several channels, but I don't know where to find you. I go to I just stay to Bold and Bonkers because
we've got an archive channel. It's just in case the government get annoyed and take this one down. We've got a backup channel where stuff is getting put up, but it's definitely up there. It's definitely running right now. It's maybe because we changed it to a brand account. I don't know how different it makes things. It just makes things easier to manage. Is yours not a brand account, Sherry? Is your channel not a brand account?
Well, I have this one, and then I've got my company one, and then I've got like one that's like to do with my witchcraft and stuff like that, which I'll put videos on if it gets really graphic. Yeah. But to be honest, I've not really been doing anything on my channel that would make people take my videos down until now. I've been noticing since doing the ufology, I'm getting a lot more interest and more views and little glitches and stuff
Well,
going
it's a
on
hot topic right now.
which is really weird. So,
but things will definitely be fixed, guys, by Saturday for our next guest, the lunar eclipse that's coming on. But yep, there's Drew. She's in the chat now. Please look for Bald and Bonkers. You can't miss it. It's two bald bad guys. What more could you want? So, Sherry, why don't you tell us about what's been happening since you heard those strange tones?
Well, I obviously come into your shows. I've been noticing since I've been coming in your shows and going into like Tim and Tommy's. I've been getting quite a lot more interest from them. Coming in and hearing that tone, I'd noticed that it affected me in a very strange way. And I remember going to bed and going to sleep, and I had an out-of-body experience where I see myself above myself, looking at myself.
Yeah.
And I rose to the bottom of my bed, and I turned to my left, and as I looked, I could see this tall figure, about 10 foot, standing there looking at me while I'm sleeping, and I started moving, and he was watching. He was wearing this very strange clothing and a cloak. It didn't look like anything that I would know from here. Yeah. And he's watching me, and I'm moving about. And then he turns and puts his hands onto my hand up here. He'd left 3 marks, but they've gone now. He'd left 3 marks on here and gone up to my throat. I've been having breathing problems and having quite a few health problems. Normally if I wake up in the morning, I've got really bad throat and I'm not feeling very well and stuff like this. But that day after this experience, I woke up with no pain or anything, and I felt different. And I thought, well, what happened? And obviously I'd seen him, and that's when I spoke to you guys. I said, well, I had this encounter where I see myself coming out of my body, and I see him standing there, and he put his hands on me, and something happened. After a while, because I sat there like thinking it over and over, and I was like, what the hell's just happened? What have I just seen? And stuff like that. And I managed to fall back to sleep, where I had my second encounter, which was where I was underwater, and there was some sort of machine. I don't want to say a spaceship because I don't know what it is, but it was not anything that was of here. And it was underneath me, and there was this light. Now, the light was very familiar to me because that goes back to the time when I actually see a UFO. I can explain how this might all be happening in a minute, but I see this machine, and I'm like, okay, and I'm swimming to the top because I'm freaking out because I'm seeing this machine, and I'm on top of the water, and I can see all these mountains around me, and I can see this light coming from underneath me and coming up. It was huge. And it come up, and you could just see the top of the spaceship that's all I can say it was, because it didn't look like anything else. And then I woke because I was like freaking out. I was like, well, what's that? Like, why am I seeing this? I've just had this encounter with this being. Now I'm seeing this spaceship, and I don't know why I'm seeing this spaceship in the water. So I don't know if they're telling me that there's something underneath the water where they go when they visit. I don't know what they were doing, but they were showing me that. Then going to my third experience is when I see the planet. I see this purple planet with these huge white and purple flowers, and it looked like pollen, but it wasn't pollen sitting there. It was blowing it out. Right. And there was all these weird colours and that going around from whatever was coming out of these flowers. And I'm just looking, and I'm looking around. That's when I see the beings for the first time, but they were quite far back. There was like a couple of beings standing there in the background, just looking as like I was looking onto them. And then I've woke up. Every time I try to get close to him, I wake up, but then I can feel him here. And each time I've had this experience, I felt like I've had something done to me, like I've either been examined or something's been pushed into me. I've had feelings down there, like you would get when you go for a smear for a woman. That's what it felt like. Somebody had been examining me. It's really good.
See, you maybe do remember, but it might just blocked what you can remember. They might have maybe just done something to make you forget what actually happened. What's your thoughts, Dakota, on this?
Because these are very new experiences, it actually does not take them much to basically redirect certain memories of their encounters. Some say they do it because you may have seen something that could have been used to hurt you or them down the line, or they just know it's going to be hard for you to process. But undergoing hypnosis and basically recreating what happened could actually bring those memories back up to the surface. They're still there. They're just locked away in a different spot of the brain that you're not usually tapping into.
Right.
I mean, this must be quite new to you, Sherry, because you're more into spirits and mythical creatures.
It's mind-boggling for me, and sometimes I feel like I'm going crazy because I'm only used to communicating with spirit and being connected in that way with them. So to have him and these other beings around me, it is a strange experience, and it's not something that I've experienced in that level before. You know, about 6 years ago, I had an encounter with a UFO.
Right.
Now, there was another incident before that I didn't put to be an alien until recently when you guys have been talking. But before I had the UFO experience, I was in a car with an ex-partner and we're driving down the road where my auntie lived, who's passed away. There was this very tall being in the middle of the road that was letting off this most greenest emerald sapphire around him. Okay. And when we drove through him, you could still physically see him. Me and my ex-partner see this. When we drove through him and I looked through the window to see if he was still there, I could see him, but he couldn't. Then I had an experience with my friend in the car coming back from my brother's really late at night. There was a ship that come over the top of our car. What we could see was like a triangular shape moving all the way around, just spinning. And this bright light come out so bright that it blinded us. We could see nothing. Okay. And we lost an hour and a half of time. Our car had moved from a junction to the other side of the road. And we don't know how we got there or where the time had gone.
See, you've obviously been took. I mean, that's...
Yeah, and I've been having it. I have these regular dreams, which I think is my astral body leaving every time. But I'm always stood in my front room looking at my back door, and there's these white lights that are coming into my front room, and you see me just disappear, and I don't remember anything after that. I just remember seeing the lights coming back an hour later, and I'm in my bed, but I was in my front room.
I've experienced the same thing. I have experienced the same thing. Dakota, what do you think about this? This is amazing.
That's been going on for about 8-9 months. The lights like turning up in my front room, but this is very new. Seeing him, but even to the point of the bed thing that I had the experience with as well. I was in a bed in a silver room. There was these green, red, and blue lasers going up and down my body, making this whirring and high pitched noise. And I'm looking around, and you can see these beings walking around in like purple jumpsuits, and they're like doing different things. And I have seen what looked like a weird picture thing come up just out of thin air, and it's in the middle of the room, and they're looking at things. Then it disappears, and I'm like, I can't make sense. It's all in different writing.
Is that the only type of like alien species you see? Do you see any different looking ones? Because when it's with me, it's like it's a white room, and there's lots of like different ones, but obviously that's all.
When I was in the grey room, there was just a Pacific one, which were these guys wearing the purple jumpsuits, but their language was completely different to the language I could hear going outside the room. So there could be other beings there, but I've not got to see them yet.
What did they sound like? See, there's Dakota's lost his connection again. We've been having problems all night, guys. Something Dakota's seen.
It's really hard to explain their language because I don't understand their language. It's very oblong. It's like just really weird. Like when they're speaking, I can't understand what they're saying. Like, you know that they're saying something important, but because I don't know the language, I can't tell you what they're saying.
So it's weird because I can hear it now, right? I can hear it now, and I can understand it, but I can't remember what it is.
But that's what I have. Like, if I'm under the control of the rhythm that Dakota plays, because I've been playing that quite a lot recently to get him to communicate, because he seems to really like that. But when I'm communicating with him and I hear those tones, that's the only time I can speak what I would say is their language. But as soon as it stops, I can't remember what I've said or how you speak it. It's just in that time. It's like I'm in a trance or or something.
Yeah.
It's weird.
What's your thoughts on this, Dakota?
What a lot of people don't realize when it comes to light language, it's subconscious. It's very deep in us. Essentially, the reason why you feel like you know what they're saying, but the second you stop and actually think about it,
it's like it does sound familiar. It sounds familiar. It's like I have heard it before. I just can't say it. It's just like.
Well, I can say it no problem, but I don't know what I'm saying because I can't remember what I've said. It's like
that's what I mean. Like,
I can say it.
Remember how to say it after.
See, it's like when I speak this language, right? It's as if I know what it is and I know exactly what I'm saying. But when I go to explain it to like everybody in here, I can't remember, and it's so strange. I mean, it's just mystical, isn't it?
I don't know. I think that they don't want you to remember it to be able to tell to everybody else. I think they want it so that the conversation can only be between you and them. You know what I mean? Because they chose you for a reason. I think that's why they don't allow you to remember it after, because they don't want you to be saying about their language.
Yes.
You know, they're very secret people and beings. You know what I mean? And they're very, very conscious of what
I think.
And who they
I think
are,
I think when they take you, right, when they take you into that ship, you can speak to them in that language and you know exactly what you're saying to them. But when you wake up, you can't remember that. And
I have noticed that, because I have noticed when I done your recording and that, and you done that thing, I was talking in their language and I was talking back to them when they were talking. But then when it come to me, the people asking, well, what did they? I couldn't remember. It was because I was in that trance at that time, and it's like they took me into them. It was really weird.
It was. What's your thoughts, Dakota? I mean, it's just amazing.
As I was saying, there's two different sets of thought processes as why this happens.
And
the way that language works, it triggers more subconscious brain waves. It's a completely different signal. It, like you said, there is a bit of secrecy to it, but we don't know how to turn between each one. That's the thing. So not easily, at least. So that's why they have to really be careful about what they say and how much they actually show us. Because we can be read like open books for something that wants to basically enslave us.
Yes. You've got to remember, if there's good aliens, there's going to be really bad ones, right? And there is really bad ones. There is ones out there that just want us to be slaves. And believe me...
He's more of a watcher. I don't know why I call him a watcher, but that's what I feel he is. He watches and he studies. It's really weird. And if I'm in a funny mood or something's about to happen because I have anxiety and that, he'll come over and he'll calm me down. And I don't know what it is. I just get a sense of feeling comfortable and feeling safe with him here. It's really weird. I didn't think I would ever have that feeling with an extraterrestrial, but I do. I feel safe with him. And it's just standing there like just.
I know, but you got to remember these beings, right? These beings are highly intelligent.
Yeah,
they're millions of years more advanced than us, right? And their technology is like millions of years more advanced than us. These beings don't go to war. They don't kill each other. They just want goodness in the world. If you see what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, and I did. I've asked him a few questions, like, why are you showing yourself to me? And like his words were that I trust you and I know you. And I'm like, okay. And I said, well, why did you not choose anybody else, people that do understand about ufology? Because you do understand, you just got to remember. And it's just things like that. And it's just, remember what? Give me something so I can try to remember, you know, like, it's just like little flashes of things. He's not giving me a full picture. He's giving me flashes.
Yeah.
It's very weird.
It was like yesterday I seen something and they showed me something and I explained it to Dakota and then whoever speaks for Dakota told me, he says, you should not have said that because there's obviously not just good people watching this, there's obviously bad people. And it's like giving away information. And guaranteed, guys, I mean, people in the chat, guaranteed anybody that's watching this, the government does watch these things, and the government do follow people that have these powers.
Yeah, but that just makes me really, really conscious about they're going to try and take me or something.
No, I don't think they'll take. I don't think they will, because I don't think that's the way they work. I think they'll try scare tactics first. I think that's what they do. What do you think, Dakota? Do you think they'll try scare tactics first?
Considering there's actually insiders that come out and admit that they've abducted people to scare them.
Yes.
And they utilize people with severe birth deformities to where
right.
anybody would...
Did you hear something there? I heard a strange sound there.
Yeah.
Something just set off my Alexa.
Yeah. I don't know why, but his energy is like rising.
Yeah. This is the problem. This isn't secure. Nothing's secure anymore.
No, it's not. People don't realize if it exists and it connects to the internet, it can be hacked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, something happened to Dakota tonight, but do you want to talk about it, Dakota, or do you want to leave it? You might as well tell everybody, because if everybody knows, well, less likely you're going to disappear through the night.
Yeah, let's just say looks like I have somebody following me around like I threatened to reveal the Clinton administration. Mm-hmm. There was... Earlier, when we were getting ready to set this up,
yep.
All of a sudden my signal went out. Now, okay, I'm in the middle of a rural area, satellite internet, don't take much.
Yeah.
All of a sudden I go out, I start looking outside just to see what's going on. There's a black Suburban outside. At least 3 subjects, 2 male, 1 female. The second they realized I saw them, they drove off. And I'm actually having to meter my connection through my phone right now because I haven't been able to get the internet back up and running.
Oh.
Yeah.
Somebody's interfering then.
Oh, yeah.
It doesn't take much for how they manifest.
I mean, if you look at it, on Saturday night, we had Elaine on, right? And her internet was perfect. It was working fine. And then when she started talking about, say, certain subjects, like secret governments and stuff like that, go down there, our internet just went wonky. She was breaking up.
And I had noticed that. I'd noticed that you and Cassius's internet connection seemed to be okay, but Elena's and Dakota's was just completely jamming up. You could not hear anything they were saying or anything. Dakota was doing it mainly all the way through the stream. Like Dakota was having issues.
Yeah, it's whoever's speaking the truth is the ones that will get cut off.
And then it happened with me and Drew on my stream. And we weren't really talking about them at that point. We were talking about spirits, but everything started coming through. I think that was something to do with him as well, because you could hear his language coming through it. But
yeah, I listened back to that. Really weird. I listened back to that, and I could hear language in it. I could hear us talking, but it was obviously no English.
I've recorded it all on my phone, but I don't know how to send the files so you guys can hear it. Because I actually recorded your live as well with Elena and that, and I don't know if I caught anything in it. That was.
Well, I think Dakota could probably record that if you played it on like here after the live. He could probably record that and then listen to it.
There's quite a few files. I've got like 6 files of it. Like my ones and his stream as well. It's really random.
It's fascinating.
Oh, I've come back. Okay.
See, it's fascinating. I think something big's going to happen next year, and it's to do with the UFO stuff. I think there's going to be a big reveal on a grand scale, and some of the stuff you talk about is okay, but when you start getting into their nerves, they start doing things to you.
I'm not being funny, and I will say this because I feel that I've got a right. I will continue to study in ufology, and I will continue to do what I'm doing because they clearly have a reason to why they're here with me, And that's, yes, I am a bit sketchy about the government, but I've never really been bothered about the government. So if they want to, as I said, if anything was to happen to me, I'd die happy because I've died doing what I'm good at and what I believe is right. And ufology is very much like my paranormal now. They're both my most important subjects. It's both of them. So,
yeah. Dakota, what are you feeling right now? I think there's something round about him.
He's got something coming, I think. He's going in and out.
I'm hearing someone talking right now.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you said, there's a point where if you listen to it, you can start making out what they're saying. But it's when they start going, when they start talking too fast, I'm like, whoa, slow it down!
Yeah, and he does. He'll start talking really, really fast to the point I can't understand anything he's saying.
But is it that's doing it though? Is it because he's making himself invisible? Maybe he's in a different dimension. It's maybe just his words are coming out faster than they should. Maybe it's because he's hidden for us. You think about it, right? There could be one stand behind me, one behind Dakota, and there could be one behind you, right? They're using different dimensions. So when they speak, it's maybe not making it out the dimension correctly. And it's reaching us maybe faster or slower. I suppose the only way they could really do it is to uncloak themselves and then start speaking to you. But I think that would just be quite bad. On air, can you imagine if it just appeared right next?
To be honest, I'm not spooked by him. Okay, like I said, I feel quite comfortable and quite safe around him, and that I think I wouldn't be bothered if he showed me in his true form, because that's how I would rather him be open and communicate with me in that way if that's how it makes it easier. But he's not ready yet. He's like, even though he's here and he knows me, he still feels that I'm not quite there for him to reveal everything. So he's doing it gradually.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is right. Say he appeared right next to Dakota right now. Yeah. One of the aliens appeared, and everybody in YouTube could see him. This stream would be off quicker than you can say bugger.
Yeah.
It would, because the government would take it down instantly. They would take it down instantly.
Yeah, they would, yeah.
Because they'll be watching this right now. They
will
be watching
this. I did ask him that question. I said, why do you come here in like in a invisible state? He said, to protect my identity and protect myself from those out there. And I was like, okay, so is that because of me as well? He goes, no, I know you. I trust you. It's the others. And I'm like, so you don't ever show like this to anybody then? He goes, only when we trust you and when we're at home.
Yes.
That's what he said. He goes, Mike, this is how I walk around all the time, so I'm not noticed. Because people will know I'm different, which they would, because he doesn't look like a human being at all. So,
well, yeah, if you seen them walking down the street, you would wonder what in God's name is happening.
Yeah.
I don't know if it is, but I can feel something round about Dakota.
His energy is really, 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 really high at the moment because I'm talking about him. It's been like it all day because I think he knows I've been coming on to you and Dakota.
Yeah. I've noticed the K2 meters went a couple of times.
Yeah.
But
it did as soon as I come up. I remember because I was looking and I was talking to Dakota when you dropped, and I was saying certain things, and this K2 started going up and down, and I was like, it's like it was agreeing. It's doing it now when I'm talking, like it keeps flashing and stuff.
See,
my K2 meter broke, right?
Right. I'm sure it's mine.
Mine's just completely gave the ghost up. It like I turned it on and it was flashing, and it's like it just flipped. It went. It's gone.
Yeah.
I've got to get a new one.
Yeah. It's easy. So, Dakota, you're very quiet. It's as if he's like studying the universe. He's like sitting there.
Yeah, I feel like it because every now and again he'll just look. It's like he's studying me or he's studying something over there or something. He just keeps.
I don't think he's all there by the way. That's for he's not there.
And that's how I was the other week. I was just sitting there and the tones coming and I just started going. And that's when my language started coming. It's just random.
So Dakota.
Oh, that's proper going.
Or is it Dakota?
Letting us know that our extraterrestrial friends are here. Are you here?
I think yeah.
Oh, they're here.
Wow.
Oh, yeah. See, the crazy thing is, guys, in the chat, and people will not believe this, but they're everywhere. They're in the skies. They're absolutely everywhere. And they're cloaked. They're cloaked.
See, for me, it's really scary because paranormal is really hard to get noticed in as it is, and that can be quite scary to do at times, especially with people's opinion. But at least with that, it's acceptable. This, I'm very on edge because this is a lot more stranger than the paranormal, and it's not something that a lot of people know about. So having these experiences makes me. I don't feel uncomfortable with him, but I feel uncomfortable with what other people online are going to think. Like, are they going to think I'm going crazy, or do I need to go into hospital? Because it's not like dealing with the paranormal. It's not. It's completely different.
Oh no, it's not. Can you imagine if you met a doctor and you said, "Oh, I believe in aliens," and I go up into the ship every week.
They actually channel through me and that. I think they would lock you away. I'm sorry.
It's actually, you brought up a good point about the paranormal. It makes you wonder what the extraterrestrials think.
You can explain about somebody dying and becoming a spirit, but how do you explain that you're part of an alien race and that your alien race is actually here? Like, how do you explain that?
Because you could have died because in a previous life you could have been on a different planet. You've died, and you've been reincarnated in the human body.
No, I get that, but other people are not. What I mean is like people would be more acceptance of ghosts than they're going to be of aliens, aren't they? And
that's the strange thing.
Stories and the stuff about UFOs and that really far fetched. Some of them don't know what to think. So to me, that makes me quite scared because I'm thinking, oh my god, are they going to think I'm a nutter or I'm losing the plot?
It's a good question, and it's madness if you think about it. There are people out there that believe in demons, and they believe in ghosts, and they believe in poltergeists and severe hauntings. But if they see a spaceship, they'll be like, oh no, there's no aliens. There's no aliens.
Yeah, no, they just seem really completely different to ufology, don't they? It's a completely different way that they look at it. And, it's not easy for somebody to sit there and talk about when they're having these experiences, especially when it's not something they're familiar with. You know what I mean? So it's hard to come out. It's like, that's why I've been crapping myself all day coming on here because I know what some people get after they've done it.
That's the thing is, it's not that scary because there's a lot of people in the YouTube community now that are into this. I'm into it. Dakota's into it. You've joined the group now.
As well. Like,
hi, everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat. But that's a point that you brought up that's actually interesting. It makes you wonder what the extraterrestrials think of the afterlife. Yeah. What do they actually think? Do you care about that, Dakota?
You clearly haven't been paying attention to what's going on.
Oh, I've been paying attention, but
the way their technology actually works amplifies the spiritual.
Yeah.
They can control where the soul goes after it dies. They figured that out. They can create entire life scenarios. They figured out the equations to create new planets.
They are remarkable. They are remarkable.
So it makes you wonder who made the Earth.
Well, it does make me question. Like, don't get me wrong. I still believe in my Mother Earth, Mother Nature, and all that. I do 100%. But it does make you wonder where you come from, and that that person that you call Jesus, it could in fact be an alien. Like,
it could be.
He was.
You know what I mean? Like, it's just, and the things that he was supposed to have been able to do in that as well, which is another thing that resembles to it as well, and it does make you look at things differently. And I have for the last couple of days, I'm like, well, what if God is actually an alien? Because
when you think about it, in the broadest definitions, everything we consider ghosts, angels, demons, the fae, they all fit under the same umbrella as ET when you really think about it.
Yeah, so they're all some sort of alien form, really, aren't they? And to be honest,
yes.
We are aliens, really, I guess, because like the way that we live and the things that we do, different places, different planets, it just makes you question. And I have been questioning myself a lot recently. Not about my witch faith or anything like that. Never will question that. I believe that we can come to anything, but
it's like a lot of the extraterrestrials have came forward and said that humans are not actually from Earth. We're from a distant galaxy somewhere. And we've been deliberately put here, probably as one big experiment. Who knows? And look at that. Is that validation, the EMF? We've been put here as an experiment.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
No, they basically blended in what they already had with the materials they already found here.
Yeah, they kind of formed us more different looking to them.
Well, we're the only intelligent species on the Earth. You don't see like tigers building jet fighters and stuff like that. We're the only species on Earth that build stuff like structures and stuff and bridges and have wars with each other and cause nothing but mayhem. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So, Dakota, I'd like to ask Sherry a question. I like to tell him, you know. Do you want to show the pictures that Sherry drew? The images. Could you bring this up? Because I find these fascinating. Have you actually worked in these yet, Sherry? They're here, they're in the banners section. You've already put them up.
No, just this one.
Yeah, it's the. That's it. That's the one I was going to put up. I mean, Sherry, have you looked at that anymore? Have you thought to yourself, what do they mean?
I've not looked them up because of my abilities and stuff. I don't like to look into things because I don't want people to say, "Oh, she's been looking stuff up," and that. I like to try and find out as much as I can before I go into research. But when I started putting them down and I drew them after I'd finished, because I must have been in some sort of daze because I didn't realise I was doing it properly. And after, when I looked at them, I was like, well, "What the hell are these?" And I even put it like next to it. I put ET symbols with a question mark because I wasn't sure. I don't know what they were. All I know is I was sitting on a video call to my partner, and he's got the music on, and I'm just sitting there milling out. And the next minute, there's these visions of these symbols coming. So I thought I better draw them down because they're obviously trying to tell me something.
Yeah, I mean, if you look at
that's what I drew. They're really, really random, fascinating. They're not of here, definitely not.
The thing I found interesting is you've got the all-seeing eye, obviously, in the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Which is, I mean, the pyramids. Who built the pyramids? Probably aliens did. A lot of people think.
Yeah, they say the Egyptians, but I don't think it was
no, I don't. The pyramids are actually older than what they say they are. It's actually been proven that the pyramids are actually older than what they say they are.
And the order that they go in is the order that I see them in.
It makes you wonder, is that some type of language? Is that the language that you speak?
But that's what I thought at first. Is it a language or is it a symbol of different planets to do with aliens? Is there different symbols? Because obviously they're all different, aren't they? So they're all going to have different things. So I'm not sure. I thought along the lines of language, but then I thought, could it be a symbol to each planet? I don't know.
Or it's like a Stargate, and that's the symbols to open it.
All I was just the guinea pig. I'm the thing that you do the drawings. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
I was a guinea pig, you know. And then I had the second star sign that come up, which was really random. I don't know if you can see that, but this one come up a few days later.
Oh,
but they were saying that was my planet symbol.
Let's have a look at that.
Oh, that's a little clearer.
And then they sent me what looks like my Stargate. Like you've got my planet in the middle, then there's meant to be 5 planets that are around it, and then it's meant to have 3 moons and 3 suns.
It makes you wonder if it is a Stargate. Because in the series Stargate, the symbols.
When I drew it how I could see it, but when you see it, it was like it was in like a vision, like this thing come up, like it was like this TV, but not a TV. It was like a light, like a fuzzy thing, and then the image of that come up, like the Stargate. I think it's a Stargate. I think it's something to do with where my planet is, and it said the Neglectic 8 star, and then I got these visions. I got this. So
that's fascinating. That I'll tell you what, I'll put Sherry on full screen.
Real quick.
Let's see.
So you've got the symbol here, guys, which is meant to be my planet symbol, and then you've got what I think is a star system. It's where I live, where they come from.
That's fascinating, isn't it? Absolutely fascinating.
It's random because it's not something I'm used to. Like, and then obviously I got the clothing as well. Now I'm not very good with the drawings when it comes to clothing, but this was what they were wearing. They had their head dressing on. The suit here would be white. This would be purple. They had either white or purple trousers, white shoes. They would have their black belt, and they had the purple sort of overcoat. When they were in the form for visiting people, they wouldn't have all this. They just had the head bit and the suit. It would be purple.
Fascinating.
So they have two different ways of dressing, like formal dressing for when they're at home and something they wear when they're examining you and when they're visiting you. They look different. But that's what I've got.
There's thinking of others of that. He's actually said something there, Dakota. Remember the disc NASA sent up to space? There was symbols on it for the aliens to read. It wasn't the same ones, was it?
That was the golden record Carl Sagan sent up. It's rumored that the Chinese actually got a response, but they're not going to share.
But yeah, they were the first symbols I got.
Let's see, look up Egyptian hourglass.
Them ones, and then it went on to getting
Let me show you something.
And these. So, and they're all through vision. I had the music, the app tone that Dakota plays. I put that on for a couple of minutes. I sat there after I finished, put my music on, my spiritual music. That's what I normally do. And my boy partner was obviously at work with his music on, so I just zoned out, and that's when I got those first. And then I done it with the second. I put it on. I was sitting on my own, and I put my spiritual music on. And I was sitting there, and then that other symbol came, and the clothing came, the planet with the flowers came. I had the dream about the water again, me being under the water and coming back up again, but this time I was on top of the water, and you could see it. It's like I'd gone back to that moment where the spaceship had come up. It was really weird.
It's rumoured that a lot of it's rumoured that a lot of the aliens' bases are under the sea.
And I think that's what he's trying to show, that when they visit here, that they're hid under the water. It's really weird.
Look at that pyramid.
Look carefully at the symbol.
Is that no Horus or something? Is that no?
It's called an Ankh. It's the Egyptian symbol for life. A lot of their languages made it into ancient texts.
Yeah.
If you hear
they actually found symbols in the pyramids to do with aliens and spaceships.
Right.
Right. Back in them day, there weren't no technology in that, but they had symbols of aliens and spaceships.
I was going to play the tones now just to see if it would activate anything in you. But I'll let you have a look at this first.
Look at this.
Egyptian. That's dead like it, isn't it?
These were Egyptian gods.
See.
And like Samoan language, from like where The Rock is from, where the movie Moana is based around, a lot of their native tongue actually comes from the Pleiades.
Yeah.
Some of that culture melted in with ours.
Would you like me to, because we've only got about 15 minutes left, would you like me to play a wee bit of the tones on the app?
Why?
Yeah, let's have a look. Can you hear it? Tell me if you can hear it.
You can hear it.
Yeah, I can hear that.
Sorry, I'm just turning the volume up a wee bit. There we go.
Has the live gone off?
No, we're still live. Look at the K2. That's that. I could make it play again. Did any of you feel anything? Do any of you feel anything?
You're more than welcome to speak.
Who are we talking to? What about you, Sherry? You alright? You feel anything?
She's not ready to be accepted.
Sherry, what can you feel right now?
No, not ready. Not ready.
What about you guys in the chat? Did you guys hear anything?
Listen to me. Sure.
Is it just
Let
me?
her walk
Somebody
through.
moving about?
Let her come through.
Let it come through.
I know. She's fighting it.
Don't fight it.
Roots into the ground. Son of a bitch.
Did somebody just move her camera there? Did you see that?
She just kicked it. She's not here. She's there. I need you to listen to some. We're going to run this a little longer than an hour.
Yeah.
We need to pull Sherry out of this.
Mm-hmm. Sherry.
She's not ready to see this.
No, yeah, anyway. Soon she will be.
No. She's too far in. She's trying to pull out.
She's about to poo it.
She's trying.
Did you hear the voice?
Trying to focus. That's it. Focus on the noise. Focus on the noise. Focus on my voice. That's it. Not quite there.
No, she's coming round.
Not quite. You shouldn't have played those. You shouldn't have played those.
That'll be fine.
Let me focus, Chris. Focus on the voice. Three, 2, 1.
Hello.
You there, Sherry?
What the fuck? What happened?
What did you see?
There was these beings in these black capes, really long faces. There was these long teeth. Oh my God.
Wait.
My one was trying to back it off. Somehow I don't know what it done. It's like it grabbed me or something and it won't let me come out. He was trying to fight with it. Literally, I'm shaking. I can't stop shaking. It's like a weird chanting in their language. They were chanting. There was just this beam of light, and they're walking around it. They're doing something, and I was in the middle of this light. It's like they were holding me. It was really weird.
Can I ask you something? Did they have a long skull at the back?
It weren't like my guy. Quite a big head. It didn't look very nice.
I know who they are.
It didn't look nice at all. And it's going off.
Yeah. It can charge your own body's EMF, practically like you've been exposed to nuclear material.
I'm all right. I'm not scared. I'm not scared of having him around, but that they were not nice. It's like I was going into this light and going over to where it is, and then suddenly I was in this blackness. It was like I'd gone somewhere. It was weird. It's like he was trying to grab me back, and this other thing was trying to pull me in. It was really weird.
Interesting. You want to call it alive now? And
We need to.
right, guys, thanks for watching. We'll be live.
Guys.
It's fine. I'll tell you something in a minute after this. Thanks for watching, guys. We've got a live on Saturday lunar eclipse, so please tune in, and we'll see you Saturday night, 10 p.m. UK time. Catch you later, guys. Bye-bye.